So these are the 8 original beds that I had for my garden. The initial game plan was to have just 8 beds. We have the 6 tall birdie beds, the round Vegiga bed, and the oval Anolife bed. And what I did was put them together, place them where I wanted them, remove the original garden from 20 years ago that was there. That's some of the debris that you see, and went ahead and placed them where I thought I should have them. Now, I did remove them or do some final arrangement to the current location where they are now. So, as you can see, my garden went from having initially 8 beds to 12 full-time vegetable beds and 1 full-time flower bed. And I'll show you the full view of what the garden currently looks like. So when we first started the garden, it had these beds that you are looking at now. The 6 tall beds, the circular bed, and the oval bed here. The pepper row was not there just yet, and none of the other beds that we have recently gotten were even on the radar. So this year, my garden has really expanded, really taken off. It's been a year of changes, a year of growth, a year of ups, and a year of downs. So we're going to go over a few of them and discuss what my future plans for 2025 are. One of the best growing plants that I had this year were cucumbers. Here, I'm showing you the cucumbers that I harvested, and I had a really abundant supply of cucumbers. I also had squash, an abundant amount of squash that grew well this year too. And in the upcoming clips, you'll see me harvesting some of them. One thing that I learned about the cucumbers is that even though I had a abundant harvest, it's best to have them staked or have them trellised so that they grow upward. This year coming, that's one of the changes I'm going to be good at doing. Here we have crookneck squash that I grew in this container, and I believe I harvested 3 to 4 in this clip. And again, everything grew pretty well. I was happy with what I got, and they grew well throughout the year. One of the differences that I noticed being up here versus in Southwest Florida, pest pressure was actually more of an issue here than in South Florida. And I believe that was because in Southwest Florida, I grew in a screened in area, whereas here it's not screened in. Here, one of my biggest failures, or well, at least to me, a failure in a learning experience was harvesting potatoes and not really getting what I expected. I In this clip, you'll see me harvesting white potatoes from 2 bags, grow bags, and I actually got, I want to say 4 potatoes, if that, and I was fairly disappointed. However, as with everything in life, this experience is a learning experience, and I will learn from it and move forward. I think mainly because I planted the potatoes late, and they didn't necessarily have the time to grow. Not the tomatoes, the potatoes late, and they didn't necessarily have the time to grow. Is why I didn't get the harvest that I was looking forward to. But as with everything, there's always next year. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I am a pepperhead. I love peppers of all kinds, sweet, mild, hot, and super hot. So this year, I had a wide variety of peppers, ranging from your run of the mill bell pepper to your cayenne pepper to your super hot Carolina Reapers to your Scotch bonnets to your cooking peppers. So here I'm harvesting a bunch of peppers, and I will continue to grow them in the future. As a matter of fact, I took some of the peppers in pepper row and moved them into the greenhouse so that I will have them ready for spring and I don't have to replant any of my plants. And they're still producing even inside the greenhouse. And here it is, December. So as the season changed, I started planting my fall crops. In the U-shaped bed that you see here, I have planted onions, a variety of originally white onions and some red Creole onions. And this is what I'm doing here. And I have planted some also in one of the tall raised beds. And unfortunately, either through my mistakes or through pest pressure, they were eaten down to the soil level. And I had to plant more. Those are doing well, and I hope to get a decent harvest. But here is me planting onions in the U-shaped bed here. In this clip, I'm putting the rubber protection around the edge of the bed um, from a company called Vajiga. I won their photo contest and they gifted me this bed. My garden went from having 8 beds to 12 beds, and the last four of which were all gifted within a matter of about 3 weeks of each other. It was shocking, surprising, but greatly appreciated, and they will be put to great use. So for 2025, I have two long range plans that I want to do. The first one is to have a container area for planting. Down in South Florida, those of you that have been following for a while know that I had a lot of containers. And I want to have that again. And I'll show you momentarily where I want to put it at. The second long range plan is to finally start my fruit and citrus area. And I'll show you where I want to put that also. So this area is just to the other side of Pepper Row. And this is going to be the future container row. I want to have either by construction or buying benches or shelving or something along those lines, an area that sits up maybe about 2 to 3 feet off the ground, maybe about 6 to 7 feet in width, and about maybe 10 feet in length, so that they're up off the ground, elevated. I don't have to worry about ants or anything like that. And I can have a table full of containers. And in those containers, we can grow whatever my heart desires. And hopefully, sometime during the year, that will come to fruition. While I would like for it to be sooner than later, I'm not going to stress out about trying to get it done as soon as possible. But again, it's just one of the long range goals, and the container garden will help fulfill the garden in general, becoming a food forest and be self-sustaining. It's on its way to being there now. Okay, this area here that you're looking at faces the greenhouse and it is equivalent to where my lawn fabric begins for the last four raised beds. I want it to go back to almost to where the greenhouse is, and as far forward up to where my manure pile is or compost pile is. And in there, I want to have various types of citrus and fruit. Currently, I have a papaya plant that I started from seed that is starting slowly but surely to produce fruit. And I recently purchased two blackberry bushes, and I have them inside the greenhouse as well. I have an ideal of where I'm going to get my fruit trees and citrus from. Again, everything is the plans are in the works to have it done, but it will happen sometime this year, slowly but surely. And then, as I said, the garden will be completely self-sustainable. We will have fruit, veggies, and I will hopefully never have to run to the store to buy that type of stuff again. I did a video once last year of where I did harvest of the plants that and food that we normally eat, and I priced it at my local Publix, and my harvest was well over $500 in produce, and that I could save. Now, imagine doing that on a full-time basis every time you harvest. That money can be saved and put someplace else. So, I want to thank you for coming along with me while we did a year review, a year of growth, a year of challenges, and a year of learning here at the new homestead. Overall, I'm happy with the way the garden looks and how much it has grown in the few months that we have been up here. Um, I think it's amazing, and I'm looking forward to the challenges of the new year upcoming. If you enjoyed the video, by all means, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, take a moment to consider doing so. I can grow a lot of food and vegetables by myself, but I cannot grow a channel without your help. If you do decide to subscribe, don't forget to hit the like button and the notification bell all, so you'll be notified whenever I upload new content. Chances are, if you like my videos, your family and friends will also. Take a moment to consider becoming a member of my channel. I'm trying to grow that part of my channel, of my YouTube channel as well. And if you do decide to subscribe, 3 to 5 times a month, I will upload member-only videos. We will have member-only conversations. And depending on how many members I get, we will have member-only seed giveaways. So if you're interested, by all means, subscribe. Until next time, always remember to give the thanks to God, for without Him, we are nothing. Take care.